And so when I say Chinese, I want you to scream out the nation that's associated with this. For example, if I say Chinese, you're going to say what?
China.
All right, let's say it with authority. When I say Chinese, you say what? China. All right, that's just a test right there. So here we go. Chinese.
China.
Russian.
Russia.
Italian.
Italy.
German.
Germany.
Swedish.
Sweden.
Korean.
Korea.
Egyptian.
Egypt.
Nigerian.
Nigeria.
Black.
Exactly. Nothing. Tell him, Pastor. Tell him, Pastor. Black, nothing.
I hope you were able to successfully identify the issue. You were able to properly identify with all the groups that I called out in the countries that associates with them. But when I said black, everyone had to look at each other and try to figure out what you was going to respond to, or what country or what nationality is associated with them. So I want everyone to understand that that is the underlying problem. That's the underlying roots of the issues that we're dealing with right now. Our issues go beyond abortion. It goes beyond drugs. It goes beyond alcohol. It goes beyond prostitution. It goes beyond the Bloods and the Crips, homosexuality, senseless deaths. It goes beyond all the different issues that we see. The issue that we're really dealing with is what? An identity. Yes. It's an identity issue that we're dealing with. Do you know the term black is simply a descriptor? It's an adjective that describes a noun. Black is not a nationality. Guess what? My car is black. My remote control is black. My television is black. My Xbox 360, guess what color it is? But my identity is not black. My identity, guess what? Is more than just being an African American. Why? Because when you use the term African American, it only tells you what continent I'm from. Yes. But it doesn't tell you what country, what nation, what tribe I descended from. Yes. The term Negro, black, colored. These are descriptors. These are bywords that were used as a derogative term, and now we have found a false sense of security within them. Yes. Researchers at Emory University found that an instance of animals passing on more specific information about traumatic experiences from their offsprings. That information came not through just merely communication socially, but through inheritance. The researchers, in an attempt to create a traumatic experience, they trained the mice to be afraid of the simple smell of what? Cherry blossom. Yes. Using electrical shocks. They discovered that the DNA from the sperm of the father and of the mother, the egg of the mother, guess what? Was altered traumatically through the experiences of those shock treatments. So I said all of that to say that this research answers the following questions. Why? Why as a people we have a natural sense of insecurity to authority? Why as a group of people do we resort to extreme measures when we chastising our own children? Why? Why does the dollar circulate only 4 hours in our communities? Why? Why are businesses owned and operated by non-black immigrants they flourishing in our communities? Why is it hard for so many of us to relate to the Bible, relate to the church? Well, you know what it is? It is a false identity that was created and passed down genetically due to the traumatic experiences that came by way of the transatlantic slave trade. Yes. See, several countries and many religious systems benefited from this particular trade. Through these countries, our identity was taken away. They used a code system called the Black Code or the Code Noir in 1685. Through these systems, our language, our original language, which was Paleo-Hebrew, was taken from us. Our culture of worship was taken from us. Our family, which was called Zion, was taken from us. And our religious belief system and how to protect and preserve our identity, which we call the Torah, guess what? That was taken from us, and guess what? Repackaged and given back to us. And guess what? And now established an identity for us that's rooted deeply in slavery. Many of us are under this delusion, thinking that our history began in the 15th century. So the question is, who are we and what is our identity? The answer is all around us, and yet we cannot see it. We've been operating in this deep sleep. That is why we cannot see that the term Negro is a breadcrumb that can lead us back to our identity. Here's a few breadcrumbs in my closing. The Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary says this about Negroes. It says, Ham, he became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and the Canaanites. Here's another breadcrumb about Negroes. Based off the research of over 750 craniums taken from the catacombs of Egypt, Dr. Samuel George Morton in 1844, in his literature Cranium Egyptica, page 66, he says this: Negroes were numerous in Egypt, but their social position in ancient times was the same that it is now, that of servants and slaves. On page 60 in that same document, he says it will follow up that upwards of 10 million of Negroes have been bought as bondsmen in Egypt. Another breadcrumb, the ancient map of Africa, 1710. You can find this on Princeton University website. You will see a territory that's called Negro land. On that same map, northwest, south central Guinea, you will see what is called the Slave Coast, and you will see a slave port called by the name of Rita. Well, what does Rita mean? It means Judah. I'll say it again. Rita means Judah. I encourage everyone to read Deuteronomy 28, and you will see everything we are going through is listed in this prophecy. Another breadcrumb. There is a historical landmark in Savannah, Georgia, by the name of First African Baptist Church, which was built in 1773 with the hands of slaves. The pews were made by slaves. Outside of the pews are markings written in the African dialect known as cursive Hebrew. They're written with a language that was non-existent at that time. So I'm here to tell you, regardless of your belief systems, regardless if you're Islam, regardless if you're Kemet, regardless if you're a Nubian, regardless if you're practicing Roman Catholicism or the 5%ers, regardless of what religions you are currently practicing, guess what? Our nationality is Israel. Our tribe is Judah. For all the pastors who chose not to come out here because of foolish ideologies, if we don't wake up, guess what? The Bible says the rocks will cry out. And I'm just going to read a quick scripture. Luke 19:40. It says that he, Yahushua HaMashiach, that is Jesus Christ, answered and said unto them, I tell you that if these shall hold their peace, in other words, keep quiet, it says the stones would immediately cry out. And so because the church leaders who chose to be silent and being truthful and properly teach an identity, the rocks are starting to cry out right now. And you know who those rocks are? It's all of you. You are the rocks. Because of the death of Freddie Gray, guess what? The rocks are crying out. Because of the death of Walter Scott, the rocks are crying out. Because of the death of Eric Harris, the rocks are crying out. Tamar Rice, the rocks are crying out. Tanisha Anderson, the rocks are crying out. John Crawford III, the rocks are crying out. Eric Garner, the rocks are crying out. Trayvon Martin, the rocks are crying out. Amadou Diallo, the rocks are crying out. These rocks is every last one of you. And in my closing, I believe the solution that we're looking for does not lie solely in the hands of our judicial system. Even though slavery had ended, but our true identities were never openly recognized. Our history book, in which many of us avoid due to traumatic experiences of the past, called the Bible, gives us a simple solution. 2 Chronicles 7:14 says, if my people, guess what? It's referring to what? The children of Israel. If my people, which is all of you, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves, pray, seek my face, and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven, and I will forgive their sins. And here's the kicker, which we need in this land. It says, and I will heal their land. I will heal their land. So I want to say to you, I can say with proudness, I can say it with my head lifted up, that my identity is an African American who is a blood descendant of the nation of Israel, and out of that tribe of Judah. I'm a proud Christian, a proud pastor who serves the Most High God. Shalom. Peace.
Thank you, Pastor.